So do you remember playing on teeter-totters when you were a kid? Or maybe as an adult? Teeter-totters are what taught me about work-life balance. Because my memories of being on a teeter-totter were with my little brother, Ricky, who was lighter than me. So I was the one that got to be, of course I was heavier, so I got to keep him stuck at the top and say, na 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 boo boo, I'm not gonna let you down. He'd be like, let me down, I wanna play, you're a brat, na 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 boo boo. But then it really wasn't that much fun, you know, I mean, I realized I was stuck, and he was stuck, so I realized I had to push off, create some movement, and find that center place, which was really effortless, that, you know, feeling weightless. And so, like I said, I didn't realize till I was an adult how that reflected my life when I'm out of balance. Because really what was going on in me is what I was down here feeling like I had all the power. I was in control. I got to call the shots. I get to do what I wanted to do. But there was no movement, you know? And I was stuck, and he was stuck. How's that working? And so I see when I'm out of balance, particularly with my work, how I'm either down here or up here. So I use that as a visual, visual, to see what's going on in my head when I'm stuck, when I'm out of balance. So several years ago, I was sharing this story with with the late Debbie Ford, who was my master coach, my teacher, my mentor, and my friend, because we were on a coaching call around work-life balance, and my work was way out of balance, among other things. And so I shared the same story with her, and she thought it was cool. But she said, Debbie, what you need is to declutter. I'm like, declutter? Seriously? Yeah, you need to declutter. And I'm thinking, I'm an extremely organized person, excuse me, and did you forget that I too am a coach? You need to declutter. So I started to internally scan my house, and I told her, well, yeah, my basement's good, my garage, my closets, I'm organized. She goes, keep thinking. So I kept thinking about it, and so arrogantly I kind of just said, okay, fine, I've got a little junk drawer that, you know, I could declutter that. She says, that's your assignment this week. I'm like, really, my assignment? Knowing Debbie Ford and every single assignment, anybody familiar with Debbie Ford? Yeah? Every single assignment she had ever given me was a huge life lesson, so I trusted the process, and I went home and I cleaned up my junk drawer. And I don't know about you, but whenever I clean anything out, I love to go back and look at it because it feels so good, and I feel proud, and so I kept opening it up, and wow, it's cool. And so then I opened up another one and thought, oh, I could tidy this one up a bit. And another one, took some stuff out, decluttered, opened a closet, opened a cabinet. Before you know it, a good part of my house became more decluttered. It became contagious. I wanted to clean out my whole house because it felt good. I felt energized. There was space. And so I realized that there was more balance in my home. Make sense? You guys have any junk drawers going on? Clutter, raise your hand. And so then I got it. Because Debbie would always say to me, I can still hear her telling me, your external world is always a reflection of your internal world. Think about it. Your external world is always a reflection of your internal world. So I heard that again, and I'm like, oh boy, I got some stuff going on in here. I got a junk drawer that needs to be decluttered. And so I took some time to really look at what was preventing me from cleaning that junk drawer out in the first place. And it was full of reasons, stories, excuses, justifications, stuff that sounded like, I don't have enough time, I got other things to do, it's no big deal, I'll do it later, I'm too tired. And the real aha was with those same exact reasons, stories, and excuses were the ones I was making around making those 3 cold calls every day, or doing my networking, or any of the things that I needed to do. So this was huge. That was the lesson. So of course the next week I got on the phone with Debbie and she asked how everything went, and I shared the same thing that I just shared with you. And she thought it was great. And she said, that's awesome, you got some insight, you got what you needed. That's the first step, awareness. Now it's about the application. What are you going to do about it? And so she coached me to using my daily calendar to get my meditation time in, my yoga time in, my specific marketing time in. And before you know it, in a matter of a couple weeks, my life had dramatically shifted. I became more productive at work, and I felt the same exact way that I felt when I cleaned out that little junk drawer. And then she asked me, well, how does that kind of connect with your teeter-totter thingy? And I said, yeah, because when I'm down here, I've got all those excuses that are making me feel like I'm in control, like I've got the power, but I'm stuck. Three years ago, my son and daughter-in-law, who live in the same neighborhood, have three beautiful children, 7, 5, and 3, Evelyn, Caleb, and Liam. They decided to alienate me completely. I can't write, I can't text, I can't call, no gifts, zero, nothing, nil. I don't know about you, but when you feel out of balance, do you feel stressed? Oh my God. My stress was off the charts. Hopeless, feeling devastated, victimized. Something's wrong with me. But I got to apply this little junk drawer lesson to this circumstance because I was so out of balance. I knew I need to look at my internal clutter. And this time what I realized is that this time I was at the top of the seesaw, saying, let me down, let me down. But it wasn't working. So I had to let go. I had to jump off and find a teeter-totter that worked for me. And that's the one with me and me, my higher self, my heart. And it sounds like, here's me, there must be something wrong with me. I can't find happiness and joy without my babies in my life. I've got to be able to do something. I got to be able to fix something. There's something I've got to be able, there must be something wrong with me. And my higher self says, Debbie, there's nothing wrong with you. And you're not just a mother and a grandmother. You're a coach, you're a leader, you're a speaker, you're a daughter and a sister. This is who you're being called to be. And there's nothing you can do about this situation but declutter. You got some junk drawers going on. And so by listening to this, because I knew it was the truth, I was able to let go and be in partnership with my higher self. And that's exactly why I'm standing here in front of you, because it wasn't that long ago that I was down here in shame, feeling like something was wrong with me, living in my story. And now I know that the purpose is for me to contribute my story to hopefully let you borrow my junk drawer so that you too could find balance, because I can guarantee every single person in here, you got some kind of life challenge going on. Raise your hand if you do, right? And so often we can't change our circumstances, but we can change what's going on in here. We can eliminate the clutter. And that's what's possible for you. So that's my invitation to each of you right now to just stop and ask yourself, what is my clutter? What are my reasons, stories, and excuses? And then when you get that, write it down. Put it somewhere. Put it in your phone. Write it on your hand. Write it on your foot. Write it on your partner's butt. Whatever. And then when you write it down, exit out. Because it's not true. And that's what's keeping you down here or up here. And then take an action step to eliminate that story, because it's not true. Because that's what the world is waiting for. Had I not decluttered and pushed off, I wouldn't be sharing my story. And by the way, by doing this, thanks to my hero, Debbie Ford, last year alone I doubled my income, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm honoring my heart. That's what's possible, you know? And the cool part is, when you push off, find that teeter-totter, have fun on it, you become an even bigger contribution than you already are. And you become contagious because you already are. In fact, Next year, I want to be sitting where you're at, and I want to listen to your story right here. How about it? Raise your hand, you up for it? Right? So you got to be able to notice if you're here or here, and take some new action. So declutter, right? Take action, get on that seesaw. And by the way, what's coming out of this? I am now supporting other alienated grandparents who feel the same pain that I do, helping them find balance. And again, I'm not patting myself on the back, I'm patting Debbie Ford, the late Debbie Ford, on the back for teaching me that lesson. So feel free to borrow my lesson, and I'd love to hear your story. Thank you.
Okay, folks, I want you to know that